Football Guys, here to talk about why Sean Payton could change the Broncos offense in a really good way for fantasy next year. And honestly, even without Sean Payton, I think there were some immediate signs of life after Nathaniel Hackett was fired. After he was fired, Russell Wilson had 2 of his top 4 fantasy games all year in the 2 games after Hackett was gone, and the team scored 24 and 31 points, which was the first and third most points they scored as a team all year. But when Sean Payton gets added to the mix, things get even better. I mean, from a fantasy perspective, Drew Brees was a QB1 in each of his first 10 years with Sean Payton as his head coach. And yes, maybe Russell Wilson is not exactly going to be Drew Brees, but ultimately he's still a really great quarterback and just had ultimately a big down year this past year. And Sean Payton just is a great coach for offense. I mean, the Saints offense was 12th or better every single year from 2006 to 2020. And in 5 of his final 6 years for the Saints, they had a top 5 offense. And a lot of that is because Sean Payton runs a very QB-friendly offense that's tailored to fit his QB no matter who it is. I mean, we saw it in the last year as the Saints head coach where they were 5-2 with Jameis Winston before he tore his ACL. Like whether it's Drew Brees or Jameis Winston or somebody else, this Saints team tailors their offense around their QBs. And that is why Sean Payton is perfect, because I believe that if he goes to the Broncos, he is going to tailor their offense around what Russell Wilson does well and the weapons that he has. He's also an ultra-aggressive coach. I mean, hence the scoring numbers that you can see. They're a top-scoring offense because they're not afraid to throw the ball down the field. They're not afraid to make plays in the short game. He is ultimately a coach that is going to set his players up for success no matter how they look at this offense and who is involved. They're going to ultimately set it up for players to succeed. But ultimately, beyond that, we talked about, Russell Wilson without Hackett was really great. Russell Wilson has been really great in his career, and Sean Payton has had success with any QB that he has played with over his coaching career. And ultimately, I think the Broncos are actually a really good spot, because I think one of the most overlooked things, beyond whether or not asking yourself whether or not Russell Wilson is broken, they still have some really great weapons. I mean, whether it's Courtland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy at wide receiver. And I think that this year they had a down year, but I think that they could be one of the best duos in football in 2023. They also have arguably one of the best young upcoming running backs in the entire NFL in Trey Williams. Yes, he did tear his ACL, and it might take a little bit of time for him to be fully recovered, but as we saw early in the season, he looked like one of the best running backs in the NFL. And ultimately, when you have one of the best running backs in the NFL, you have an awesome, wide receiver duo in both Courtland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy, and then you have someone like Greg Dulcich, who showed some signs of real promise as a rookie tight end. There's a lot of components there that say this offense could be really good, especially when you add in as successful as an offensive coach as Sean Payton. I'm really excited to see where he goes, but ultimately I think the Broncos would actually be a lot better fit than people realize, and that could take this offense to the moon in 2023. But don't forget always to put it in the comments. Where do you think Sean Payton should go? Do you think Sean Payton would be a good coach for the Broncos? Let us know your thoughts down below, but don't forget to subscribe, turn those bell notifications on, and keep tuning into Football Guys content coming out each and every single day.